Hey y'all, welcome to Conscious Cousin TV. I am your Conscious Cousin Jamia B, here entertaining, elevating, and educating my people. So let's get into it. Okay, you guys, so the first part of the show, we have a little segment that we like to call Press Play. I'm contemplating a name change, and the alternative would be Black Stage, but y'all just let me know in the comments what you think. But this segment is all about Black media, music, basically my feedback and opinion about these new drops and perhaps some controversy and just a little bit of the pop culture topics of what's going on. So the first thing that I would like to get into is Flage's EP. I give that EP a 10 out of 10. I don't know if you all know who Flage is. She is from The Rap Game. That is where I was first introduced to her. Lotto was also on a season of that show as well. But nowadays, Flage is known for playing basketball at LSU alongside Angel Reese. Okay? Sorry, guys. Need some water. Excuse me. Okay, first impressions. Let's get into that. The cover art, well, the name of the EP is Best of Both Worlds. Like I told you, she was on The Rap Game, and now she plays basketball. Best of Both Worlds. That cover art is insane. Like, it's the actual like visual or graphic. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is, but it's movement. It has a basketball on one side, a mic on the other side. She has a beautiful, beautiful side profile, and it's just amazing. I highly recommend y'all go look at it, but not only look at it, listen to it. My favorite song is Perfect Time, and it's a good positive message, and I just feel like she is an artist that unfortunately probably would not trend as much as other artists like Lotto and maybe Meg or Glow, because that is not her steez, that's not her style. So I really enjoy that type of rap. So I really do hope she gets put on and gets the platform that she deserves, but it's very much not mainstream female rap type music. So if you're looking for that, or you're interested in hearing something that's not on the radio, go listen to Flage's EP Best of Both Worlds. She has a few features up there. One is L.L.C on a song they call AMF, which stands for Ain't My Fault, and Wayne, which I was pleasantly surprised by, and then Too Rare. So the song that she had with L.L.C, upon the first listen, I was like, okay. But then listen to it again, and I was like, okay. I like the AMF. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like maybe that's sampled for somewhere, but all in all, I think they did a good job. And I'm not a person that really listens to L.L.C, so I can't say how it is compared to his other work or how he performs, but I guess it was good for the song. Like I said, it's not one of my favorites, but it's not a bad song. The one she has with Wayne, though, the flow on that is nice. Like, I'm so glad he is up there, and hopefully that feature pushes her to the top. I haven't really seen nobody talking about it. Hence why I am talking about it, because Flage is really that girl. I think she deserves to have that platform. Like I said, she was in The Rap Game, which was years and years ago. I feel like I said, the whole EP was good, but I'm just telling y'all what stood out to me, like some honorable mentions to me. Definitely go take a listen, stream her stuff, like push her to the top so she can truly be the best of both worlds. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, guys, so next we have the highly anticipated album from Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, this whole snake thing that she got going on, I love. 10 out of 10. And I'm not even a fan of snakes. I won't even put a snake necklace on, but just it's a vibe. I can't lie to you. And I think that's a part of the storytelling when she's talk about everything that's happened. And even watching her Shannon Sharp interview, I didn't finish it, but she just expressed how hard it has been for her to find genuine people to surround her and accompany her, because she wants everybody to win, but it just seems like nobody wants her to win. And it's just like a revelation. And I just feel like that's the hatching of the snake eggs, you know. So onto the music. I will say that the last half of the album is the best part. Mamushi on down, I can get behind that. I can get behind it all the way. I just feel like the first half, it was a lot of meow meow talk. We'll say that, and that's just not really my style or my match my lifestyle. But I do understand who Megan's audience is. Primarily, it was just very vulgar. I feel that if she would have scrambled the album a bit more and just put some of the ones at the bottom throughout the top, it would have been more palatable. But it's hard to get through when you have all of that coming at you at the top. Like, some people may not even finish it for that reason, but I'm glad I did finish it. The first half, she absolutely wanted y'all to know that, one, she's that bitch, and number two, you might as well admit it. She said don't try to deny it. Y'all already know that she's that bitch, okay? That was redundant. Do you get the picture? You're broke. She said bitch. The only thing after Mamushi that I can remember that was just as vulgar is Downstairs DJ, which I don't hate the song, but it's just very direct. And I think that's the whole album is just very direct. And I was just like, okay. We saying it like that though. So I do like Megan's style. The one with UGK, I also like that one too. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. Let me see. Oh, how did I forget to talk about this? But it's called Paper Together, the one by UGK. Accent with Glorilla. Thought he was a country boy. Oh, no. What is it? Thought he was a city boy till he met a country. Okay. Because, yeah, that's what you thought. I just feel like Megan and Glow are a dynamic duo. The duo that I didn't know we needed. It's magic. I feel like at this point they can do no wrong. Like, I love it. I did also listen to Lucky Day's album. I will say that I never really listened to much of his music. I don't like, because I'm the type of person, like, once I like something, I'm playing it all the time, like the same stuff on repeat. But it really takes something like to introduce me to new music. Up until recently, which I have gotten into listening to the new drops and keeping up with what I can. But I didn't know him from a feature he did on Queen Naijah's album Misunderstood called Dream. Love it. So I'm gonna let me sleep, 'cause I don't want your love to leave. I don't want to fall so far just from this high that you're giving me. No, I don't want to wake up. No, I don't want to wake up. No. Yeah, I love that song. So I'm just like, let me listen. I don't really listen to him like that, but let me listen. Since he got some new music coming out, I like music, you know. So the first 4 tracks were like more pop-ish than the smooth R&B type, on the pop side of R&B, rather than, because we know R&B is a genre that is compiled of so many things, but I feel like it was more pop-ish, which was nothing wrong with, but I did note that because it's not necessarily something that I would sing along to, but that's just me. Around the 5th track, we get that more classic R&B sound, which is the track that is named after the album, or the track that the track that the album is named after, which came first, the egg or the chicken. Oh, okay. I feel like the production and engineering of that song, Algorithm, is 10 out of 10, 5 stars. I just really liked it. My favorite track was the one he did with Teddy Swims. They was thinking big for sure. I highly recommend y'all go listen to that one. You'll understand why I said they was thinking big once you listen to it. So after that was Think Different. In my mind, that's like I process that as like a lover boy anthem. I like it. And That's You. I believe that was dropped last year, the end of last year. I had heard little pieces of it like online, and it still hits like it just came out. Maybe I haven't heard it enough, but I'm just like, okay, I still like the song. It's a good song. Mary, I love that song too. 10 out of 10. He was definitely in his bag with that one. And then we have Paralyzed, which I loved as well. The last two tracks on the album gave musical, but not in a bad way. I'm a person who likes musicals. Lemonade and Diamonds and Teal. I feel like Lemonade just gave musical. Like I could picture it in a movie or a stage play or something like that, being a feature song in a production. Diamonds and Teal was like a finale song, and it was the perfect way to end the album, if you ask me. It was muy bien. Lastly, I want to talk about Normani, because I saw a post about how basically people were begging for Normani to make an album, but when the time came and the drop dropped, nobody was there to give it the numbers that it deserved. Like it seemed like so many people was behind her on social media, but she's not doing numbers. That is the implication there. I haven't really seen nobody talking about it like that. I also did not know she was dropping the music, so maybe it was a promo fail. Her team could have done better, but I did take a listen to it, and I think my favorite songs are 159 and Candy Paint. Oh my gosh, that sounds so congested, God. Forgive me. Candy Paint and 159. I can't lie. I do feel like it's a project that you have to listen to more than once to kind of get behind. But I think it was good. Maybe her team could have done better in the rollout, but I also feel that her fans also could have just popped out a little bit more. Like, what's her fan base? Like, does she have a clearly defined people? You know, you have the Beehive, you have Renavy, you have Barbs, you have Hotties, you have what is it, icy girls? Is that what some of these people are called? I don't know. You have the Swifties. I just feel like maybe they need to be more. It needs to become more solidified. Like, I feel like Normani is a very talented, beautiful woman. Excuse me. I just feel like maybe there needs to be a better job in building that fan base, because I feel like we all like Normani, but do we all follow Normani, keep up with Normani? And I feel like that may be what she needs to have her stuff get pushed up, do the numbers that she deserves. So yeah. So the next segment of the show is called So How About, and this segment is all about things that are going on in the world in terms of policy and a little bit of politics. Okay, I feel like it's so much happening every day that it's hard to keep up, and it also may be overwhelming and depressing at times, and also anxiety inducing. It's really a lot, and if you're not a news junkie or something, you may feel like, how are you supposed to keep up? Or you may not feel qualified to even have an opinion on these topics. But I'm telling you now, whether or not you have an opinion or an awareness, it affects you. So I think it's important that we stay informed. So the purpose of this segment is to give us a better understanding, a more basic understanding of what's going on. I pretty much want to focus on P25. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get flagged. P25, and I know it's a lot of strong language about that and strong claims about what it's threatening to do to us, but I like to be logical. I don't want to try to scare, like, I don't want to fear monger, if you get what I'm saying. So I just want to give you all the facts. I downloaded the document myself and I read the foreword, and these are the pieces I'm gonna get into today. It's just a few, but hopefully you all get a better understanding from the notes I've taken and the analyses that I have to match. Okay, so pretty much what they are trying to combat is what they're calling the Great Awakening, which is like a play on the Great Awakening, but it's kind of what they're portraying it to be is like the antithesis or the opposite of the Great Awakening, which is like religious periods, but the Great Awakening would be what they're describing as the woke agenda. But really what they're calling the woke agenda is just heightened awareness, it's education, it's access, it's the way they talk about wokeness is as though it's just as great as C19 from 2020. You get what I'm saying? I feel like they're having a stronger reaction to this when they didn't even want to wear masks, if that makes sense, for the health of everybody. But I'm saying they, but I don't want to overgeneralize, but you get the picture. The reactions are as careless as they were when people were dying and losing their lives behind people's refusal to follow certain community guidelines. And wokeness, what they're treating wokeness like, is astonishing. But they basically say, these are their words, the moral foundations of our society are in peril. And to that I ask, what moral foundations are these? Because we all know the history of this country as far as how the indigenous people were pushed out of their communities. Their land was taken over. They were basically exterminated for the most part. Of course, we have still some indigenous and native populations around the United States, but they're very few and far between. And also, it's a lot of history as far as how they were schooled, but they were really just abused and conditioned to adopt the way of life of the settlers. So I have this post by Raven Reveals. She accurately explains these three terms, which are Christian hegemony, Christian nationalism versus the Christian faith. Christian faith is the guise they use to abuse and manipulate these people and justify their wrongdoings and harmful acts towards indigenous communities, and not only them, but enslaved people. And that's just a consistent pattern, all in the name of Christ, and I think that's an abomination. So I'm gonna play that video for you guys right here.
And some of y'all have decided to show your whole behind in the comment section under my last video. Let's clarify some things. Christian hegemony, Christian nationalism, and Christianity are not the same thing. Christian hegemony is the normalizing and privileging of Christian values in institutional ways. So for example, the fact that we automatically get time off for Christmas, but if you want time off for Hanukkah or time off for Eid, those are things you have to specifically request. Christian nationalism is when certain readings of Christianity are then turned into cultural and legislative manifestations with the intention of inextricably linking Christian values with a collective national identity. And that's exactly what I was critiquing in my last video. This new Louisiana law that mandates the 10 Commandments be shown in every public school classroom is a violation of separation in church and state, and it is part of a Christian nationalist agenda. Now, those two things are different than Christianity, the faith system. Now, does Christianity get weaponized to do Christian nationalism, to do Christian hegemony? Yes, let's start there. And the fact that you're trying to weaponize my Jewish identity against me as if that would make my critique any less valid, or that means my critique is rooted in hatred, is absolutely ridiculous. Being critical of Christian hegemony and Christian nationalism is not the same thing as hating Christianity, and certainly not the same thing as hating Christian people.
So yeah, y'all, that's pretty much that on that piece. Like I said, I feel like she perfectly depicted, like that. I feel like that was the simplest way that you could explain it. But on to the next thing of P25. They say that the left is anti-American, and American is from the verbiage here, I can presume that it is associated with freedom. And they even included a quote from Ronald Reagan about freedom. It says, "Freedom is a fragile thing and is never more than one generation away from extinction." Girl, it says extinction. Yes. Freedom is a fragile thing and is never more than one generation away from extinction. Why can't I say that word? Extinction. It is not ours by way of inheritance. It is not ours by way of inheritance, but it must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation. And to that, I'm just like, any ounce of sanity would cause this nation, the leaders of this nation, the people who are using these quotes and then enacting and pushing and promoting these different policies, who is thinking fully, using their entire brain, okay, would suffer from cognitive dissonance if they are saying these things about freedom, but also implementing these policies that infringe on the freedoms of others. Cognitive dissonance, if you don't know, is the feeling that you get when your behavior does not align with your beliefs. A common example they gave us in school was, okay, you say you want to lose the weight and get a healthier lifestyle. Watch what you put it into your body, make sure it's natural, or just you have these certain restrictions about what you want to eat because of how you want to look, but you go to McDonald's every day after work for an Oreo McFlurry and a large fry and maybe an apple pie. Something in your head would tell you, I shouldn't be doing this, that I shouldn't be doing this. Why are these policymakers not getting that I should be doing this? Like, what's not connecting? What's not connecting? Why aren't you getting the I shouldn't be doing this? Because it's not aligning with what I'm saying. My behaviors are not aligning with my beliefs. But that's a whole nother thing. They also speak of the blessings of liberty, which are purposed to protect the American people's freedom and to shield them from tyranny. Tyranny is an oppressive government. I think the policies that are being passed are oppressive to specific communities. They want to reverse the progress that has been made to protect these communities. So much has been done, but so much more could be done to protect us, to shield us. And it's a slap in the face to say that certain language and terminologies we do not need. It's there for a reason. If we did not need it, we would not have asked for it. They also state that the left has a totalitarianist agenda, but really it is the right's. Totalitarianism is defined as a system of government that is centralized and dictatorial and requires complete subservience to the state. You're saying that's the left, but the right is the one who wants people to follow them blindly, not thinking for themselves or having any ounce of criticality to say or suggest otherwise, but in fact be penalized for differences, which is not okay. Examples of totalitarianism coming from the right is the censorship and deletion of terminology to save, that's their word, save First Amendment rights, which are freedom of speech, right to petition the government, freedom of the press, of religion, and assembly. They're also referring to things that would be considered sex education as pornography, when there is a clear difference. Pornography is for the purpose of adult entertainment, is very explicit and vulgar, while sex education is just that, it's educational, it's informative, it's creating an awareness of the bodies that exist on this earth. And to say that this is pornography is really telling of how we as a country have failed our students in that area anyway. That is something that is determined by each state, and statistics show that states with sex education that is not as thorough or adequate have higher teen pregnancy rates, along with other things, because they just are simply not informed. So I'm not understanding why at this time in 2024 we have to defend sex education. Critical race theory and gender ideology. I think we need to be so serious about the level of education at which these things are taught. It's not in high school, not in middle school, primary, elementary, not even in undergraduate school, and that's college. These are topics that are most likely talked about in depth at a grad school level. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? they're saying that in speaking about the truth, that's what they're afraid of coming to light, the truth. They're arguing that the color of someone's skin does not determine their moral status. We know that. We know that. We've been telling y'all that. You don't have to tell us what we already know. See, the thing is, it was okay when it was us, but now that it's my palm colored people, we want to make sure that we're preserving white lives and coddling white children. Now, I think that's the answer to the question of who is this serving, who is this protecting, the why, so they can preserve white lives and coddle white children. And it also claims that Washington does not want accountability. It's the right that's pushing for privatization, which means deregulation, which means who's gonna hold you accountable? Oh, okay. So those were just some notes I took from the foreword. We can break down some more stuff in the next show, next week, but keep your eyes peeled, your ears to the streets as much as you can. Like I said, I understand they make you anxious or overwhelmed, but it matters. It matters. Nothing else matters. Yeah, like I said, keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears to the streets, because knowing is truly half the battle, or whatever G.I. Joe said. Knowing is half the battle. And speaking of half the battle, that is the name of the show's next and final segment, which is brought to you by Choose Every Step. Choose Every Step is my business. It's Black women owned, obviously, and faith-fueled. I do identify as a believer in Christ, a Christ follower. And the purpose of my business is to foster personal growth and development within the Black community, specifically Black women and girls. And I aspire to do that through dance and social events. Those are the two things that I love in life. I can dance all day. I might be dancing all day and not even know it. In social events, I love opportunities for communities to come together and just have a good, grand old time and just be together, create memories that last for a lifetime. I'm all about the growth and betterment of ourselves, the self-care. Don't miss the anticipated launch, the Step with Intent retreat happening later this year, which will probably be December. I'm using it as like a New Year's Eve event. Basically, I don't want to give y'all too much because the details are obviously like still being worked out, but as the name, Step with Intent, stepping into this new year 2025 with so much intention, clear vision, clarity, confusion no more. We know what we want. We're about to go get it. We're going to align ourselves with the women that we want to become. You know, you have to continuously ask yourself, with everything you do on that journey of becoming who you truly want to be, does this align? You can follow the business page on Instagram at Choose Every Step. Like I said, y'all, please just stay tuned. Stay on the lookout for those details. But on to today's topic. I want to say 2 years ago now, I wanted to start therapy. Not really for any specific reason, but I just felt like it was a lot that I needed to get off my chest. The main topic of my therapy sessions ended up being like my anxiety, specifically social anxiety. And through that experience, I learned from that experience, I learned that I sometimes have irrational thinking patterns, which are the cause of my anxiety. And the work that I had to do to combat that anxiety was taking every thought captive, as the word says, like taking the thought captive and really understanding the whys behind that. Why did I feel that this was going to happen? I have no indicators that that will happen. That's just me assuming or trying to anticipate the negative. And learning to stop doing that was so beneficial for me, but I cannot lie and tell you that it does not happen to this day. It does happen from time to time. As a matter of fact, it happened yesterday. It happened yesterday. There's a really important conversation that I needed to have with someone very close to me, and in anticipating how they would react, I took on these feelings of not only anxiety but of animosity towards this person who in essence had not even done anything per se. It's just a matter of us having a conversation. In my head, when I thought about the message that I wanted to communicate, I was also anticipating their response, and I should have only been focused on the message that I wanted to come across, because their response is not my responsibility. But you know how people say like they argue in the shower or something? I don't do that, but I do. A lot of that takes place up here. I do imagine how things may play out, and in my head, when I'm imagining the scenario, I can see myself with an aggressive demeanor, you know, going to bat for me, because da 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 da. And if to just very blunt and direct, aggressive demeanor, like I had to be combative. I feel like because that's what I've had to do in the past with people who don't value me, who don't seek to understand me, and people who didn't care whether I loved myself one way or another, as long as I was loving them. But I had to realize that the person that I'm talking about, the person that I'm getting ready to talk to, they are a person that has shown care for me. They have shown care for me. And with that, I'm gonna let that anticipation, that anxiety go. I'm not gonna harbor that in my body. I'm not gonna put that onto them. I'm gonna look at me and my message and do that. Because I need to love me regardless, and that does not need to cloud my judgment or my message. Anybody's response or anticipated response in this case, I don't need that to cloud my message. So y'all, the reason why this segment is called Half the Battle is because, like I said, knowing is half the battle. And this show and this segment is going to be about knowing thyself. When you know yourself, when you get to know yourself, that truly is half the battle. So y'all, I look forward to taking this journey with you. It took a lot to be here, but I'm here. I'm thinking about everything that God has downloaded to me, and I'm just so grateful to finally have made this video. I pray that I have the confidence to continue making and be consistent. I'm crying, I don't know why. But oh God. Okay. Time to shut this off. like I said, thank you. Just thank you for tuning in. This is Conscious Cousin TV with your conscious cousin Jamia B. This net is driving me crazy. Got this tissue. Do I get it? No. I'm gonna get it. I need to buy floss water because the summertime here is nuts. But it is Georgia, so what do I expect? But let me end this video. Thank y'all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is Conscious Cousin TV with your conscious cousin Jamia B, here entertaining, elevating, and educating my people.